Okay. Hi, my name is Aadesokan, and I'm a visual artist, mostly working with photography and painting. And I think primarily now I see myself more, mixed media. I think recently I started to say to people that I make mixtape of images, and that's the best way to describe my work. My subject matters have always revolved around the mind, consciousness, perception, and that's currently in the 3.5 years into a 5 year research on the concept of wasted entity, and I'm based in Amsterdam, Netherlands. It's supposed to be spring now, and spring is like when the flowers start to bloom, and it's like partly sunny, um, but it is cold and sunny, and that's like the most frustrating thing ever. So you can live in Amsterdam for years and still not see. I mean, even if you see all of it, right, still not experience all of it. It's like New York, but like like a New York light. In my residency, there was a food artist who was exploring food, and one of the questions they posited was like, "What is Dutch cuisine?" Right? Dutch cuisine is mostly potatoes and cake and fruit, and they're very good at pastries. Not as good as the French, right? But they're like a mix of everything. So when you ask me how the food is like, what I enjoy is that there's just a strong international community that you can have like the best Korean fried chicken, and then next thing you're in the best Turkish restaurant. But even that, still, like for instance, right, in Germany, that's where you have like the best kebab. And then, for instance, I was at the Eid festival, and I had like the Egyptian kind of falafel. I'm like, I've never eaten any other kind of falafel anymore. So it's a blend of many things, and there's not one thing that is it's great. So I find myself having the best meals when I cook for myself. I'm glad that my mother taught me how to cook. So there's gatekeeping everywhere in this world, but here people are so open. Like one time I was in like my friend's event, and I was sitting beside an Oscar nominee, right, for an animation, and we were just talking. I didn't even know. And then after we watched the screening, then they were like, "Oh yeah, sorry guys, we didn't mention this person was shortlisted for the Oscars." And I'm like, "Huh?" And they're here, and I'm like, "Hmm." And it was just so random, right? So the barriers to connection, the fact that you're just one conversation away from getting funding for the things you need, and I found very interesting. I think it was also maybe for me because I was already at a point in my practice where I had like clarity on who I was, and I had the um what's the word? I had the confidence, which was also backed by recognition, right? So it made um you know my arrival much more easier because I already had like a reputation. I already had a base. Like this is this artist that won this award and got that grant, and for me, as personally as an artist, right, I was already at the point where I'm like, this is what I'm doing, and I had it all. I also had it all figured out, but I had like a clear identity of where I wanted to go to. So that made it easier for me to say no or yes to things rather than saying yes to everything. One of the biggest assets for me has always been people and friends, right? And I have like such a beautiful, genuine community here and back in Nigeria. And so that's made my life way easier, to be honest. Like all of these people have come through for me. It's like I might just be sitting by myself and maybe just my own way of life. And then I just get this email like, hey, do you want to do this? Do you want to do that? Oh, you should meet this person. You should talk to that person. And personally for me also, like the Dutch people are very direct. I like that directness. For my practice, I'm taking this year to just like reflect because last year was very busy. And again, that's another thing of being here, right? I've shown a lot of work within Europe. I still haven't compromised on my work, which is about where I'm from, and my research is focused on West Africa. So I will be traveling back and forth. Um, yeah, so it's a slow process, but it's steady, and I think that's the most important thing because a lot of people don't have that slow and steady process. So right now, it's just more to allow myself to rest, right? to make sure black tax doesn't choke me up to my head, right? And to network my core community and create the bridge, because there's a strong Amsterdam Lagos connection, right? But you don't really see it. You see like a strong Lagos Berlin connection, but there's a lot of Amsterdam Lagos connection that I'm just like, why are we in like different niches, right? Like, where's that together? Where's the Amsterdam Lagos energy, right? So I will play my part while making sure that I don't carry the whole world on my head. It's always about knowing your plan and how you want to adapt and build and just staying consistent. Your plan is your plan. It's what I always say. And I always tell my guys, farm your farm. Don't farm another person's farm. If you know what's in your farm and you farm your farm, you're fine. That's it, man.